Bonjour mes amis, je m'appelle Rob Hopkins, moi je suis ici à Totnes en Angleterre, mais je ne parle bien sûr français, alors je parle en anglais. Greetings everybody at the European School, and it's really wonderful just to be able to send you a short message before you all sit down to watch the wonderful film Demain. Demain has been a phenomena in France, in Belgium, and 1.5 million people now have seen it in France. It's led to many new projects being started, has really opened lots of people's eyes up to a whole new way of imagining what the future might be, which is just wonderful. And I'm very lucky to appear in the film. One day I had an email from Cyril Dion, and he said, "Oh, we're making a film and we're going to come to Totnes, and we wondered if you might like to be in our film." And I said, "Yeah, okay, yeah, fine, sure enough." And so they turned up with Melanie as well. And I'd never heard of Melanie, because Melanie Laurent in England, no one's really heard of her very much. So Melanie turned up just like with a pair of old jeans on, with hole in the knee and a big sort of floppy hat on. And everyone was saying, "She's very famous. She's really very, very famous. She was in a Quentin Tarantino film." Well, I don't really watch Quentin Tarantino films, so anyway, they filmed an interview, and lots of people come here and they film interviews, and then you never hear from them again. And then about a year later, I got an invitation to go to Paris for the premiere, which was an actual film premiere like you read about in the newspapers, with a red carpet and lots of photographers and everything, in the UGC Normandie, the biggest cinema in Paris. And then we watched this extraordinary film, the film that you're about to see. And the first time I saw it, I was really touched, and I really thought, this is a film that can really reach a lot of people and touch a lot of people, and it really has. And one of the things I remember, I saw it a few times in Paris at that time, and was really struck by how many young people were going to go and see it. And I remember talking to a group of young people, and they said, and I said, "Why do you like it so much? What do you like about it?" And they said, "Because we feel like after the Paris attacks last December, we don't really have a story anymore. What's our story? What's this country for? What are we doing? What's it for? And now we know. Now this is our story. This is what we want to do." So I really, really hope that this film becomes your story, and I know there's a lot of support around for you to to watch the film, and then really have a think about, well, so what might we do here? What could we do? What would our school look like? What would the European School of Demain look like? How would that change how the school sources its food or produces some of its own food, where its energy comes from, how you all get there in the morning, what you learn, what you study, what possibilities you feel you're given. And for me, I always feel like school is about possibility, that you should feel that you should get to the end of your time at school and feel like anything is possible. And if ever there was a time in history where we need a whole lot of young people feeling like anything is possible, we can do it, it's now. And Demain is the most beautiful introduction to starting to think like that, to give you lots of ideas of what's possible, what you could create from here going forwards. So I get to go and see this film in quite a few different places now. I'm here in England, and everyone's like, "Rob who?" And then I go to France, and people are like, "Oh, you are the guy from Demain. We do a selfie with you." And then I come back to England, and no one really knows who I am or really cares very much. So it's really nice. So I quite enjoy that thing about Demain, and the music is great, and it looks beautiful, and I particularly love the stuff when they go to Detroit in America and they're growing the food in the middle of the city. I love the possibilities that brings about how our cities could look so very, very different from the way they look today. Anyway, I could go on and on and on. It's a wonderful film. It's called Demain. You're going to really, really love it. I hope it changes your sense of what's possible, what the future could be, and I really look forward to hearing the stories about what you go on to do once you've seen it. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.